Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on your hometown station. On the Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds, where twice a month we talk about all things Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station, crime prevention and outreach related. Here in the studio with me today, Deputy Josh Dubin, Deputy Ysenia Holwager, and crack reporter Jessica Boyer.
Jessica
Bomb threat Boyer.
I'm never living that down, am I?
No,
never.
But let's go through the list of this year's signs that the apocalypse might be upon the Santa Clarita Valley, and that's just based on this random sampling of crime stories that we put together.
This came out of Perry's little brain all by
Right.
himself.
I helped.
Yes, and there was
I
collaboration.
helped.
There was discussion. There was voting. We pulled in Kyle and his perfect hair.
We voted
to get his opinion. All right, so the top number 10. Of course, Kyle doesn't have the drum roll sound ready.
Do we have any sound effects loaded today? Great job. Probably spent extra time getting his hair ready this morning. I love you, Kyle.
Okay. Santa Clarita deputies ID selfie takers. Burglary still under investigation. Deputy Josh Dubin, we worked on this story originally because we had thought these two people were suspects, and they ended up being persons of interest, and then they ended up not getting charged with anything. They were ended up being in possession of a phone that was stolen. A woman in Newhall's house was broken into. Her phone was stolen, and then she went online and found pictures of this couple.
Right.
And immediately she was like, I don't know these people. They weren't on, I didn't take these pictures on my phone. Contacted deputies, thought had a lead. They the reason given was that a family member said that they had purchased the phones at a swap meet.
Right.
And they were, obviously stolen phones when they were purchased.
Right, so we have the phones back now.
So you have the phones back, but no arrests have been made, and ended up no one got charged yet. But that was still just an odd situation because you have these two people who their pictures showed up.
Yeah,
on
that gained a lot of media attention just because of the way that it happened. We haven't had too many cases that then evidence shows up on a cloud, and then we're able to work with the victim to extract that off of the cloud, and then
And so, and they did come forward, and they talked to deputies, and then ended up still one of those stories where you're just like, how did that happen? Again, another story, number 9, suspect arrested in stolen car after an alleged gym theft. This 20-year-old Dylan Altman of Santa Clarita was arrested in a car reported stolen. It was found in Van Nuys. His car was stolen. This car was stolen out of a Santa Clarita Valley gym.
Yes, it was.
The victim, I guess what we talked about this.
The arresting deputy?
Reported. Yeah.
Was myself.
You handled the rest.
I did.
You went down and picked up the suspect.
I did.
And then brought him back.
I did.
So the situation, is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is that this guy went into the gym, left his bag and his keys out, went inside to work out, came back out and where he thought his bag and keys were, and noticed his keys were gone and his car was gone.
Correct.
And then this man was found sleeping in his car by LAPD.
By LAPD.
In
Right.
Van Nuys. So again, and then they contact. What happens?
Right,
They contact
LAPD
you
detained.
guys.
LAPD detained the suspect. I went down there with another deputy. We interviewed him and then ultimately placed him under arrest. The vehicle was later returned to the rightful owner, and that individual was transported back up here to Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station Jail, where he was
Face charges for
that. Yeah.
Number 8 is kind of a wrong place and wrong time for that. I mean, kind of caught red-handed type of.
One of these stories that are in this list, Deputy Holwager was involved in personally.
Oh boy!
I believe. When we get to it, go ahead.
Deputy Holwager, you'll have to chime in when that comes up. Number 8, an attorney pleads no contest in Castaic jail smuggling. This is a 63-year-old attorney, Stephen Beecher of Sherman Oaks, was reportedly smuggled $30,000 worth of heroin inside a greeting card he delivered to one of his clients. There was, I guess, heroin packages were being ironed by his girlfriend, according to the plea deal, and those packages were put inside a greeting card, and that was how they tried to get the heroin into the jail, and eventually that was uncovered, and he took a plea deal. I think he's facing 2 years in custody when he gets sentenced for that. So obviously not a crime that they take lightly when you're... Technically, they're considered officers of the court, right? Oh, well, like lawyers?
I don't know.
No, well, no penal code for that one, huh?
No, I'm really slipping in it.
All right, number 7, men accused in Paul Walker Porsche theft plead no contest. This is these two, okay, sometimes there's crimes where you you just don't have a whole lot of sympathy for the suspects or the people. These guys ended up taking pleas, and so these two guys, Anthony Jano, 26-year-old guy from Phoenix, and Jameson Whitty, an 18-year-old from Sunland, pleaded guilty to 3 misdemeanor counts for grand theft of personal property, destroying evidence, and obstructing a police officer. They stole parts off of the Porsche that was in the fatal crash of Paul Walker from the tow truck driver. And then...
At a red light.
At a red light. And then later that night, Jameson tweeted about it on his Instagram account. Or, I don't know, you posted an Instapost?
Instapost?
Are we making that a verb? We're just making everything a verb now these days?
It's Instagrammed.
Instagrammed. That's not a verb.
Show
me that in Merriam.
Miriam, like you and Miriam.
Well,
you and Miriam are on first name
basis.
basis.
That's right. We are. Known her for a long time, Miriam. And so he posted hashtag come up, and with a picture of the stolen parts. So he got 45 days in jail, and 10 days of Caltrans labor and a fine. So hopefully, what was this? Okay,
Kyle Googled it for me,
yes?
and CNN said Instagrammed. So if CNN says it, then it's right.
They also got the well, all right. You know what? Don't get me started.
Kyle's on my side.
Don't get me started. All right, number 5.
Well, you better go quick. We're almost out of time.
Well,
we still got 5 left.
I'll get there without interruption.
Go ahead.
A woman pleaded guilty to child endangerment after child left in the car. How about that for speed and efficiency? So a Fraser Park woman was using her iPhone as a baby monitor. Basically, called herself, put it down in the car, left her car running and unlocked. And obviously that's a dangerous move for a number of reasons. She was charged with child endangerment. Don't do that, right? There's the moral takeaway. Don't use a baby monitor. Don't leave your kid in an unlocked car. And it was an infant. Number 4, deputies arrest alleged Jack-in-the-Box bandit after a taco theft.
Was that the one that you worked on?
Is that your involvement? Oh, okay. So Joseph Taylor of Santa Clarita had a few charges in his past, and he pleaded not guilty in April. You still have to follow up on that one because I believe he was in jail the last time we did the story. But deputies investigated the scene of a reported break-in and noticed some unusual activities. Deputy, can you kind of tell us a little bit about?
So as we walk up to the Jack-in-the-Box, where the front looked clear, didn't see anybody inside. As myself and my partner made our way to the back, I started hearing crunching noises like somebody walking through glass.
Or
was it taco shells?
No.
That's my
No,
natural
not.
follow-up.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Dorito chips.
We had our weapons drawn, and he saw us, and he took off running down Via Princesa, and we gave chase, and he stopped running. We detained him, took him into custody, went back to the location, and in his backpack we found
some tacos,
some tacos, some salads, some chocolate cake,
Okay.
and he had left the fryer burning, so there was some burnt tacos still cooking.
And I think what might have slowed him down was the extra tacos, right? I mean, he might have. Who knows what would have happened?
Well, I think the reason why it made your list was
yeah, you interrupted his meal. I mean, yeah.
that made your list. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you broke into the location allegedly, and then allegedly turned on the fryer, and then allegedly started cooking
a level of
some tacos, and then was like, "Oh no, the deputies are here! I need to run." Yeah. And left the tacos
Steal some
burning.
tacos you eat for a day. Learn how to work the taco fryer, and you'll. Anyways,
eat for life.
Okay, next story.
We got the top 3, but we have to take a quick commercial break. So, we'll get the drum roll. Maybe Kyle can get on his sound effects for us. No, he's shaking his head. All right, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds. Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on your hometown station for the Neighborhood Watch, where twice a month we talk about outreach and crime prevention with the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station deputies. With me in the studio, Deputy Josh Dubin, Deputy Ysenia Holwager, and Jessica Bomthread Boyer. We were just going through our top 3. Well, we're down to the top 3 crime stories from last year because this is our first show of 2015. We were doing a little rundown. Do we have a little drum roll? Number 3 is Santa Clarita woman charged with DUI after an alleged taxi cab theft. So Santa Clarita woman was booked on driving under the influence charge in May after stealing a taxi from a driver who was trying to help her out, according to the Sheriff's Station report. The woman had an ignition interlock device on her car. which usually indicates a past DUI charge, if I'd imagine.
Some people might not know what an ignition interlock
So
device is.
it's one of those things where you have to blow a BAC under 0.08 in order to start your car.
I think you have to blow a BAC of 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can't go 0.03 on an ignition interlock, huh?
I don't know for sure, but I don't think so.
Okay, well that's good. That's probably a good idea. But so she had gotten intoxicated, called a cab. Cab started taking her, and she realizes, hey, my car is over here, and it's parked in a spot where I can't leave it. So she asks the cabbie, hey, I can't start my car because the ignition interlocks. So the cabbie takes her over there, starts her car, moves her car. While the cabbie's moving her car into a safe place, she takes his cab and drives it to the top of the parking structure, of my understanding, where Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station deputies found her and arrested her for driving under the influence. And the cabbie was a nice enough guy to not press charges for stealing the cab, apparently. But driving under the influence, no avoiding that. You drive.
Right.
You drive.
And I don't think you're saying these stories to make fun of anybody. You're just saying it as, hey, these are things that probably you should not do.
These are things we can learn from.
Right.
And then number 2, deputies seeking just to clarify for everybody else, there was quite a bit of dispute. There was furious discussion in the newsroom. There was debate on the top 2 stories.
Furious.
So we'll let the
And
listeners
Kyle
decide.
and my choice ended up
And
being number 1.
I got
There you
outvoted for the thank you, bomb threat.
You're welcome, as always.
Number 2, deputies seek a purse snatching suspect who left his wallet behind. And so I guess his signature flourish was after he stole the purse, allegedly, he was in a scuffle. I guess the victim, a woman was like trying to chase him down, and his wallet fell out of his pocket, which several witnesses saw the wallet fall out of his pocket, which makes it, I think, I would have to imagine, not a lawyer, but an open and shut case for most jurors and criminal. I know you guys can't really comment on cases dependent, but I mean, come on, you're leaving a wallet at the scene. You're not going to have deputies aren't going to track you down, probably. Have to imagine. And then the number 1 story, again, this was Kyle and Jessica's choice.
Yes, it was.
But I have to concede it was pretty epic in its narration. So these 2 teens decided that their spot to smoke marijuana on this particular afternoon, back in, I don't even remember when this was. I want to say August. It's during the summer. These were minors. In front of the detective building.
There was one guy, I thought.
Across the street. Well, there was 2 kids. One kid got a citation because the other kid was just with him.
Right.
So they sit down in front of a glass wall that just happened to be the exterior of the Sheriff's Department's Detective Bureau for the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station.
Right.
And sure enough, a detective was walking.
Right. His back was against Lieutenant Cameron's office.
Who is the director of... she's the head of the
Detective Bureau.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
And then allegedly proceeded to light up his marijuana.
As another detective was walking back from the courthouse, which is obviously right on that same block.
And then that detective was like, hey, what are you doing?
What? I mean, I can only imagine.
What do you say in that situation?
The crime happens
When
right in front of you. Like, stop. I mean, or do you let them commit you know what I mean?
But what do you say? If a detective came up to me and was like, why are you doing that? I'd be like...
did not know I was in front of the detectives bureau. Would probably be my answer. Got to be honest at that point.
Yeah.
There's no. But I'm sure that's probably. Anyways, so there was our top 10 head-scratching crime stories from 2014. So hopefully people are listening and learning and not doing that again. Especially the 2 young teenagers who decided to boldly smoke marijuana right in front of the Sheriff's Department's Detective Bureau headquarters. Always ill-advised, right? Deputies.
Yes.
All right, we got to take a quick commercial break, but we are going to get to know Deputy Ysenia Holwager as soon as we come back on your Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds. We are putting you on the hot seat, Deputy Ysenia, so I hope you're ready for that. We'll be right back after this commercial break from All American Bail Bonds.